Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Your ex-wife wants more money every month so you can get a personal trainer and nutritionist for your 4-year-old. Is this a scam, or should you be ponying up this money? That's coming up a little bit later on in the podcast. Right now, let's get it started.
We got a text from Chelsea, and I feel like at 22, if you're asking us for help, you must need it. So she wrote us a text, says, I'm 22, a senior in college. My boyfriend is mad at me because I applied to be a beer tub girl at a local bar and I got the job. I feel like I'm attractive. I have a great body. I work out every single day. I eat well. He's mad at me because he thinks I'm going to flirt and take things too far with customers. He said that he'll even go to protect me by hanging out for my entire shift every single time I work. I respect his point of view, but he's going to need to trust me if the relationship is going to go any further. What would you do if you were me? Chelsea, sometimes at that age, it's really hard to get it through the guy's head that you're really just doing this for money. Sometimes you just got to make some money. And the guys that are going to be hitting on her are going to be so drunk and so gross that it will be a turnoff. She could go from that angle, I guess. But it's a job. She got a job. And she has a great body. I feel like he wants her to be punished for that.
No, maybe he just wants her to have more of a cerebral job. You ever think of that? Maybe
she wants a mindless job right now. Maybe she's in school all day and her brain's working. She wants a mindless job. She just wants to pour shots for people and open beers for people. There is nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with getting an office job either.
Stop.
Why?
If your daughter was like, Dad, I'm going to make hella cash pouring margaritas or be a well girl, you would be like, do it, girl. But my boyfriend has a big problem with it.
I would encourage her to do others.
You would not.
I for sure would.
What?
I would for sure say, I'd like you to do something else.
If she would make a ton of money to get herself out of debt from college doing this job, rather than being in a pinstripe suit at this job, being bored and making half the amount, you would. I
personally would encourage her to do something else that wasn't just using your body to sell beer.
You lie.
I for sure would.
Wow. That is not what I thought you'd say after all the conversations that we've had about wardrobes at school and showing your belly. Why can't they show their belly?
I don't have a problem with that. But I don't want her to make her living doing it.
Chelsea, do what you want to do. This is crazy to have someone so all up in your business at 22 years old.
Maybe he wants her to do better. Maybe he wants her to do more with her mind.
She's not doing anything terrible. She is doing what I think an age-appropriate job is.
So you think most girls at 22 should be beer tub girls?
I think it's an age-appropriate job.
Not try to get any kind of an office job or a high-level internship.
And she's going to school to get an office job. I would fully expect this from a college student. Go work for Monster. Go pour some samples. Go pour some beer at music festivals. That is what I think. It's 22 years old and you got a great body for it. Make that cheddar is what I say.
I'm very interested to see what a lot of women in our audience would say about this.
I think 22, you're living. And if you have somebody that is going to sit there and watch you and they'll have their eyes, and you're just going to feel it. You're going to feel the eyes on you at all times. You can't have fun.
Listen, I think there is a very large reverse stereotype going on here. I think this is very hypocritical for a lot of people that say, go to school, use your brain, but for sure, put on some really short shorts and sell cheap beer. You can't have both sides.
Yeah, but it's funny because guys will pay so much in tips because she's wearing short shorts and a tank top. It's amazing.
It's not their fault.
It's called capitalizing on a situation and walking away with guilt-free money.
Do you want to break this down again, please?
Yeah, she has texted, I'm listening. She says, I'm 22 years old. I'm a senior in college. My boyfriend is mad at me because I applied to be a beer tub girl at a local bar, and I got the job. I feel like I'm attractive. I have a great body. I work out every single day. He's mad at me because he thinks that, I'm going to flirt and take things too far with customers. He even said that he would go to protect me by hanging out for my entire shift every single time I work. I respect his point of view, but he's going to need to trust me if this relationship is going to work. What would you do if you were me? I can say that there is a listener that follows me on socials. I've shown you her Facebook stories where she's got all of her stripper money, like in stacks on stacks on stacks. But she has a boyfriend that does construction, and he is so okay with her making that money.
Yeah.
So it's all about where you are in your relationship and trust. Trust is a big thing.
Hi, Shelly. How are you?
Hi, good.
Great on this end, too. Thanks for asking. What's your first thought, by the way, on this?
So guys have been monetizing and oogling girls for years. She's just actually monetizing herself.
Yeah.
She's in college. She's already using her brain every day. Her boyfriend needs to be okay in his own self. If he doesn't trust her, then they don't have a relationship anyways. That's the whole basis for it. So she should be able to earn whatever she wants to earn in college and pay for her student loans or pay for everything she needs by using what she has.
I agree. This is a checkmate. This is a I see your money, but I'm going to laugh it all the way to the bank. Thank you. These are short shorts, and they just made me hundreds of dollars tonight.
If you had to give a recommendation, would you say get out of this relationship? Does it sound like red flags to you?
Yes, if he is that worried about her and that he basically wants to stop her at work so she can't make as much as she possibly can,
Yep.
yes, she needs to get out.
This is a good conversation right now to have in case you're in your car right now and you are pulling this stuff on your lady and you're doing the, I'm going to swing by and make sure you're at work, or I'm going to make sure you're not going out to lunch with that is like the biggest turnoff, and the demise of your relationship is probably right around the corner.
Shelly, based on your spot in life right now, if you were to exploit your body for everything you think you could get out of it, the way your body is right now, what job do you think you'd get? I'd be a congressman. That's what kind of body I have right now.
If I could get a job still at this age as a beer tub girl and make serious bank, I would do it.
No doubt.
Would? Oh my gosh, that's great. I love that you're getting
There
after
were
it.
bartenders in Nashville that were well over 35, maybe even pushing 40 with killer body. I mean, I would just die for a body like that. But they're still making money showing off all of their A&T. And I'm like, do it, girl.
Correct.
I tipped her.
When does it switch from TNA to A&T? Is there
When you look down to up.
Did you go through confirmation classes?
I did not. All my friends did. I did not.
My son Nolan will get confirmed this weekend, and so the thing, I don't remember struggling. My wife and I are like, what are we gonna get him? What are we gonna get him? I don't remember struggling with our other two kids when they got confirmed, like what we were gonna get them for a gift.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna ask you because my parents got me when I got confirmed a gold watch.
Yeah.
And on the inside was an engravement of my confirmation date and stuff like that. And I think I wore it on my wedding day, and that might be it.
Yeah,
I
get something.
might not have worn. Now I think we're probably, get him like a cross necklace because it's, in style, and he's got one anyways.
Why don't you get
now,
him a bless up sweatshirt? They have funny like bless up sweatshirts.
Yeah.
They have like Jesus is my homeboy, stuff like that. Get him stuff that he'll wear.
I would expect that to like come from his godmother, his godfather, stuff like that. But as mom and dad, I think we want to get him like something nice that he would actually, wear. So it seems like the cross necklace is the thing. But if you're listening, is there something that you got for like your confirmation that you still wear? Like, I feel bad that I don't wear it, but like if I was to walk in here with a gold watch, the ridicule I would get from people in this building for wearing a gold watch on a Monday or a Tuesday would just be just insane. Is anybody actually still like on a daily basis wear or use something that you got as like a confirmation gift?
Why don't you ask him what he wants?
Because he'll say, give me money.
There you go. I'm done messing with people and their gifts. Like for the holidays, I'm done.
That's fine.
Only going to give you what you want. Send me a list of what you want.
This one's a little different. It's got to be something like on the religious angle.
Why don't you get a religious card with a really nice handwritten sentiment inside?
Like, I can still look at this watch that my parents gave me, as old as I am, and go, oh, I remember that moment. That was heartfelt. It meant something. But the struggle is to, like, you want something that they're going to keep, but like that they're going to get use out of. So that's where the struggle comes for me. We've been working on this for a while now, but I just wondered, anybody actually using something that you got as like a confirmation gift? Like you're using it all the time? I'm not getting him a Jeep.
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo. Bingo!
Bingo what bingo? Bingo!
Basically, we need you to call immediately if you fit one of the following 2 criteria. Kat's got the first one.
If you have done something that is cool in the eyes of your children, Sheryl Crow shared how her kids reacted to her getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
They didn't really know what it was until my 13-year-old said, "Is this kind of like the Baseball Hall of Fame?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Oh." Like, oh, okay, cool, Mom. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Pretty cool.
I don't know how many times I have to try to convince Liam that, like, I have a pretty cool job. Like, when we were on the side of the stage watching Ja Rule and Nelly, and he was sitting on the equipment, like the rolly
My
boxes.
kids think it's stupid. My kids think our job is so low,
I
bro.
leaned down. I was like, do you realize how cool this is? Look at everybody watching from out there. You're watching from the side. And then he was like, how late is the buffet open? And I'm like, kid. So I enjoyed it. But yeah, you've done something that's pretty cool in your kids' eyes.
I get the bingo if you're starting a new job. Like this week or anytime soon. My wife's first day at her brand new job is this morning, and she's pretty amped up about
What's
it.
she wearing?
She said it was supposed to be kind of business casual, but it is her first day, and so I'm like, all right, well, do what you got to do. But she's very excited. I haven't seen her this excited in a long, long time.
That's good.
And she has to go into work, and that was I was like, I can't believe you're excited about this. She has gotten so used to, and even before the pandemic hit, she rarely went into her job. Right, she worked from home. And I said, you're not going to have the dog. You're not going to have the all the windows and everything like that.
Yeah, but she's a talker. Maybe she's over it. She's had a little bit of this, and now she wants a little bit of this.
Kind of what she said. Yeah. So I'm very excited for her. So she starts her new gig today, and I'm very proud and very excited for her. So Deb.
Bingo.
Bingo for which one?
Cat.
Okay, well, I mean, that's great, but let's recap it now.
All right, so what have you done in your kids' eyes that is cool?
Okay, so my youngest is actually an adult, and when she was in elementary school, I used to put these lunch notes in her lunchbox so that it would tell her that I loved her every day.
Aww.
Well, now she's an adult, and she just started her big girl job, and I found some lunch notes, so I started putting those in her lunch every day.
Okay, and she thinks you're cool for doing that.
Wait, is she still living at home?
She is, because she has $100,000 in school loan.
There it is.
Sure, for
There
sure.
it
That
is.
is absolutely fine. I was just like, you're sneaking into her house to put stuff in her lunch? That's weird. But now that I know that she's living at home, it's not so bad.
I'm not that mom. No.
The name of the Walmart baby?
Americus.
Americus. I met an Americus over the weekend.
How old were they? Because they would have to match up to the movie.
Okay, so here's the deal. This was about 3 hours into tailgating. The people we went with, one of his college buddies, had a daughter who was maybe in, I'm guessing, her mid to upper 20s.
Okay.
And she has a little sister. And what had happened is they allowed her when she was young to name the little sister.
Yeah.
And she had just watched what's the name of the movie?
Oh, my God.
As the Love Grows or something. I don't know. It's something corny like that. But you guys all remember the Walmart baby, right? It's Natalie Portman. Is that Ashley Judd?
Yes.
All right.
Where the Heart
Is. That's it, right? So she had just watched it, and she said, Mom and Dad, let's name her Americus.
Okay.
And Mom and Dad said, okay.
Yeah.
And they named her Americus. So I met an Americus as we were tailgating this past weekend. And I was like, that's cool, right? Now, she's, I'm guessing, in that 14 to 17-year-old range.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It didn't seem to bother her. Everyone called her Americus.
It's her name.
I know, but a lot of times if you're not a fan of it or you get, whatever, it's a or it's not a popular name, I guess, but it's like an infamous name, you would shorten it up or go with a nickname or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Didn't want it. Didn't do it. Have you ever met anyone that was directly named because of a movie character?
Well, he said that this was what happened, so it has to be true. But this kid I went to high school with, we stood up and, you have to introduce yourself at the beginning of the school year and go around. And he said, my name is Marty. My dad's a huge fan of Back to the Future. So he was named after Marty McFly. I guess that's the only one I've ever
That's cool.
come in contact with that had a name.
I can't remember. I went to college with these two guys, and they were like the weirdest twin brothers. And their last name was Smith, right? Pretty popular.
Weirder than the Winklevosses?
Yeah, well, yeah. And here's why, man. These guys they were obviously roommates because they were twin brothers, but they took every class the same. They were both psych majors.
Yeah.
They took every class together. They were always eating together. Go to a party, they were together. They were like joined at the hip. But I had one professor that blew it up my sophomore year. I'm sitting there, and we're just kind of, because they lived in the same little chunk of the dorm that I did my freshman year, so I got to be good friends with these guys. But this professor made them split up while he was doing his lectures because he couldn't concentrate. You know why? Because our prof stopped it, and he goes, I can't. You got to go sit over there. You got to go sit over there. And we're all like, what is going on? He goes, all I can think about is cough drops.
Oh.
Have you seen, you know what Smith Brothers cough drops are?
Was it a commercial with the twins?
It's if you Google it real quick, I think it's going to be like a black and white picture of two older guys.
Smith cough drops?
Smith Brothers cough drops. Regardless, if you ever had Smith Brothers cough drops in your home, they weren't cough drops. They were candy. They were straight up candy.
Yeah.
The
like
cherry
Ludens.
ones, yeah, but they were like, you wanted your parents to think you were sick so you could have Smith Brothers cough drops.
Yeah.
Because they were just straight up sugar.
Oh.
And they were delicious. And this prof had a mental block where if he saw them sitting together, he knew their last name was Smith, and all he thought about was getting cough drops when he was going through college and in grad school.
Couldn't get over it.
He could not concentrate because the Smith brothers were sitting together, so he had to make them split apart.
Man.
So that's the closest I had ever come until this last weekend when I met Americus. Remember, you can win $500 cash just by texting the word thanks to 251-1047. Oh, and the cool part, you get to also give $500 cash to your favorite charity. It's called Thanks Pass It On with Bradshaw and Bryant. And all you have to do to get started is text thanks to 251-1047. Let's get you back into the podcast.
Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Everybody!
Other people's problems. And Matt's got one this morning. Tell us what it's about, brother.
It's mostly about our daughter. It's because my ex-wife, we split up a while ago, and she's kind of what you would call really conceited and really vain.
Okay.
She wants to hire like a nutritionist and a personal trainer and pass these kind of values down to our 4-year-old. And look, I told her that it's kind of our responsibility, and when she's with her, it's her responsibility to make sure that she eats right and she exercises because, she has primary custody, over me there. So,
are you paying for any of this, Steve, or is this just out of her wallet?
Well, that's the big issue. She's trying to get extra money from me to hire a nutritionist and a personal trainer. She wants me to hire these two people. I'm so against it.
Yeah.
Mostly not the money or that stuff. It's just a 4-year-old doesn't need a nutritionist or a personal trainer. She's 4.
Is it just because she doesn't want her to get overweight, or does your daughter maybe need some help in that department?
Most of the time, honestly, from what it sounds like, is it just seems like she's trying to just, I guess, kind of project all of this stuff onto our daughter. She takes care of herself. My ex-wife is, not bad looking. It's just really crappy attitude.
Yep.
But it really, really comes down to she wants her to live her best life, and she wants our daughter to develop healthy nutrition and exercise habits. I'm just saying it doesn't cost, what it would cost to hire people to put that on her.
I have a thought on this that's probably going to be an unpopular opinion. I'll say it next, but I want you to hang on for a quick second. I want to see what our listeners think about this. So ultimately, you have a 4-year-old daughter. Your ex-wife wants you to start paying extra so that she can have a nutritionist and a physical trainer at age 4. So I want to see what people think about this and see if anyone else thinks about kind of where I'm going with this, because I think there's something you're not even thinking about. So hang on a second, all right?
I know my wife, her mom kind of pushed the same thing when she was younger, and it gave her a really bad relationship with food. And it's something that she's battled with now for years and years. And It's something that she's just recently kind of figured out how to really eat healthy now, because when her mom pushed it, it really affected her negatively. It made her look at herself even worse than before. And now we've been together now for a few years, and it's something that we've, her and I have both battled with of, okay, well, now we need to eat healthy, but now we just absolutely hate it because now we feel bad because now we're eating healthy.
Yep.
And so at 4 years old, what kind of damage is it going to do to her? I mean, it might, at 4 years old, I don't know how much you really think about yourself like that.
Mm-hmm.
But later on down the line, you could have really negative thoughts about yourself. Now, oh, well, when I was younger, I ate bad. So
Yeah.
I don't really know how I really feel about 4 years old. I mean, maybe wait a few more years, and if this is a real problem, then maybe think about this. But
Well, all you have to do is start incorporating healthy foods. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. She's 4 years old. She's not going to get up and turn the oven on and start making her own food. So this is what you're going to get. This is how you're going to eat. And it's good food for you. This is how you grow. And that will set the base. You don't wait 4 more years, because a lot of bad habits and you know, stress on the mind can happen in 4 years, I think.
Good stuff. Hey, thanks, Derek. We appreciate you chiming in, man.
Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Everybody!
I don't know why I kept calling him Steve, so I apologize, Matt. But I appreciate you coming on the show. If you missed it a couple of seconds ago, we were talking to Matt, and basically his ex-wife would like him to start forking over more money so that their 4-year-old can get a personal trainer and nutritionist.
I think it's just really drastic, to be honest. I think there are many websites to go to wrap your mind around how to deal with this, and make sure that your kid's living their healthiest life. It's the money aspect too for Matt, where he's like, she wants me to pay.
I think that's the only aspect. I think she is literally trying to bleed this guy dry. I think they broke up. Something bad happened that we don't know about, and I don't want to know about because that's your business. But this is a clear attempt at extorting money from that girl's father just to have money.
You know, I will agree with you on that. I think that there are just so many other ways to make sure that your child is getting the best nutrition possible without hiring somebody. A lot of nutritionists put all of their expertise online. You guys sit down, talk about it. What can we do at my house? What can you do at your house? So everybody is on the same page.
Unless this is an extreme case where a nutritionist needs to get in there right now because this person is at like a failing health moment. Mm-hmm. I can't see this being anything more than extortion. Right. Ron, it's Aaron. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
What's your first thought on something like this?
It's a joke. It's a joke. A 4-year-old kid, we know what a 4-year-old needs to eat, right? We know what's healthy. We know what's unhealthy. You know, a lot of it, you guys mentioned extortion attempt. I do believe it's part of that. And what's worse is he's probably going to have to go through issues like this for the next, 14 more years.
Yeah.
But at 4 years old, a kid doesn't need a nutritionist. We know what's healthy. We know what's unhealthy. It's sad. And a lot of it, too, sadly, is set little fights here and there. So at some point, if you could have to go to court down the road, she can argue, well, he didn't even want to get a nutritionist.
Right.
He didn't want to do this for our daughter. He didn't want to do X, Y, Z. And it's sad. It's sad that it has to come down to that. And it's even more, like you said, Kat, a lot of the stuff is online. We know how to, in this day and age with technology, there's a lot you could figure out just by going online.
Yeah. Or to your primary caregiver. Like, she's still at that age where you can just ask the doctor, I feel like my daughter is a little bit overweight. The doctor will say, what does she get on a daily basis? You're like, oh, pizza rolls and fruit roll-ups and Gushers. And she's going to say, well, we got the problem.
Aaron, almost everybody that's texting in right now is saying the mom wants this for herself, and she's trying to say it's for my daughter. Did that ever cross your mind?
I mean, yeah. I guess it depends on how she was asking for him to pitch in. Was it go half on a bill? Is it send extra money a month?
Yeah.
I guess a lot of it depends on how exactly she's asking for it. But at the end of the day, it's a joke. I feel sad for him because something like this, if she's making this an issue, she's probably the type that does things like this on a regular basis.
Yeah, I feel bad for the daughter, to be honest. I mean, she's being like a little pawn in this whole game, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron, I appreciate your thoughts, brother. Thanks for checking in real quick. I want to get to Kate's first thought on this. What did you think immediately when you heard this? Kate.
Hello.
Oh,
hi.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So my first initial thought is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of an almond mom, but it stems from somewhere, and I'm pretty sure it was probably passed down from her mom of being obsessed with diet and fitness and more obsessing over their own daughter's weight than their own personal health problems.
What did you call this?
Almond mom. Yeah, I
Almond
just
mom?
looked it up. It's a negative term to criticize a person as endangering themselves and their families with poor nutrition and insufficient diets. It's almost like Munchausen. It's almost like a sabotage of a diet just so you can try to get them on a healthier path, I guess.
So they're not just a mom that prefers Mars bars. They like it's almond.
It's like a mom who eats an almond throughout the day, and she's like, "No, I'm fine. I'll just skip my breakfast and lunch." And then she's like, "Oh, I just had a small salad for dinner." Very obsessed, and then obsessed with their own daughter's weight.
Never heard
Refers
this before.
to a parent obsessed with healthy nutrition.
Never heard this before.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.